Hey my beautiful people, welcome back again to my YouTube channel, and if you're new, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's topic, guys, it's going to be about the challenges I faced when I was new in Germany. And what I mean by new, guys, it's not just the first few months, no, it's the first 1 to 2 years. I honestly respect everybody or anybody who moves from their country to live in another country. And I don't mean just 1 month or two. No, I mean long time. Salute to you guys. Because if you see anybody living in another country, it needs strength, it needs courage. Also, I think you need a lot of love and support from your loved ones. I'm very grateful because I always spoke to my mom almost every single day, and that gave me so much strength and courage. And just knowing, although my mom was so far, I felt like, just knowing that anytime you can call someone and any day she will pick up, and you can cry, you can talk, you can just vent if you want to. You will be sure that that person, even if they're not close to you, they will hold your hand and they will give you an advice, and they will assure you that they, even if they're not there, they're there. Honestly, my mom was that person who held my hand throughout. And I'm truly so grateful, because I know not so many are so privileged. Some people move to a different country and they don't have anyone, or their families even forget that one of them is out of the country. They rarely get calls. They just feel lonely, because moving to a different country can get really lonely. And now imagine there's no even family member you can call and just feel at home, even if you're not at home. So I understand there are people who go through that. So I'm truly so grateful that I had a shoulder to lean on, and I had that one person that I knew truly loves me and truly encourages me. And it's hard for some people. Of course, another thing that really helped me is I had my lovely son with me. There's something about having kids around, or a child around. Even if you're going through things, it doesn't hit you that much. Some things just don't hit you that much when you have a child. Like, I wasn't as lonely as I think I would have been if I didn't have a child. So my son, I can say that this journey has been great also because my son was with me. I was with my son. We held each other. We hugged each other. We loved each other. So I'm really grateful for that too. I'm grateful to God too that He gave me strength and courage and wisdom throughout this, journey, especially the first few years. All right, enough of the stories. Now let's get to the challenges. The first challenge: adjusting to the new environment, learning the culture, understanding the culture and how the people live, getting to appreciate the food and finding something that I really liked and that I really enjoyed. Learning the language, Also getting to understand how the system here works. What do I do when I'm faced with this situation? What do I do when I receive this letter? What do I do and where do I go when I need this and this and this? Learning the language, guys. We all know, as a grown-up, starting to learn a foreign language isn't easy at all. And now do you get when I say it's like when a child starts to crawl, you're starting from zero. Because imagine you need the language to work, to be able to communicate with others. You need the language if you need maybe to book appointments, maybe hospital appointments and so forth. You need the language to even go shopping. You need the language to start looking for a job if you didn't come here on job visa. You need the language to further your education. Can you imagine? You have a letter and maybe you need to go to an office, and you go to an office and there is nobody who speaks English. Or sometimes there is, but they don't want to speak in English. We all know how Germans love their language. So you can go to an office, yes, there's someone who can speak in English, but they say I can't speak English. So you have to try to express yourself in German. Now imagine you're new here. You're in an office and you need or you must express yourself or say the reason why you're there. You know, or even at the hospital. And now, you know in your mind what you want to say, but the words can't come out because you don't know what to say. You know, you don't know the exact words to put together to form the sentence you want. You know, you feel so helpless. You feel so helpless. You start acting like dumb. Yeah, because you know what you want to say, but no words can come out. So you start expressing yourself with hands and just you start moving your body to be able to be understood or to pass the message. You guys, if you have stomachache, you start saying, ich habe, you know, you mix maybe even your own language and the German, you know, you just pick. One thing I am very proud of myself about is I was never ashamed to make mistakes. I still make mistakes and I'm not ashamed. Even when a small child corrects me, I'm not ashamed because I know that's not my language. Even when a German goes to my country, they will make mistakes and people will correct them. So I'm never ashamed of making mistakes because I know this is not my native language and I'm still learning and I will probably learn my whole life. My son corrects me all the time. All the time. I remember one day, I will never forget. And the funny thing is, when my son corrects me, especially in public, I never forget it. There was one day we were on the streets walking, and then I told my son, I want to go. The way I said it in German is, I want to go in the toilet. Ich will ins Klo gehen. My son looked at me and said, Mama, man sagt nicht so, Mama. Du geht nicht ins Klo. Aufs Klo. Listen, people started laughing. The people who were around us, but not laughing like in a, you know, laughing because of the way my son said it so loud. From that day, I've never forgotten that. Say, ich möchte ins Klo gehen. It means like, I'm going inside the toilet. I would like to go inside the toilet. So that wasn't correct. And since then, I have never forgotten that. And every time I even remember it, I laugh. So the things small children correct you, trust me, you never forget them, you know? So I never take it in a bad way when someone corrects me when I make a mistake. Of course, in a respectful way. So I would advise anyone who is starting to learn the language, make sure you tell the people around you that it's okay to correct you when you make a mistake. Because you know, sometimes people will be scared to correct you because maybe they think you will think, you know. So it's okay to tell people, you know what, when I make a mistake, correct me. That way you're learning. Also, when you have kids around you, the best way to learn. So speak without the fear of making mistakes. Let people know it's okay to correct you. Another thing is, make sure if you can, start the German course as soon as you can. This will be very, very helpful. One thing that pushed me so much in learning the language is I didn't want people to keep telling me, you can't do this because you can't speak the language. You can't be accepted here because you don't know how to speak the language. I wanted to be free. I also didn't want to keep asking people to read letters for me and to fill in letters for me. But another thing, you guys, I said I'm really, really proud of myself, because even when I couldn't speak German so well, I could still read the letters, and where I could understand, I could fill. Where I couldn't, I could ask. There is one lady, God bless her, she really, really helped me and held my hand and helped me throughout. Her name was Frau Kempf. This lady, there are angels on this earth. This lady held my hand like her own child. This lady taught me where I needed to learn. This lady took me through situations where I couldn't go through alone. This lady never got tired of helping me, you know? And so, you know, when you meet such people, you don't want to overweigh them. You try to navigate on your own. Listen, God has been with me. When I say God has been with me, it's not just saying it, I feel it. I am truly blessed, guys. Even when I couldn't speak German, I entered to offices with such confidence, and I spoke my broken language. And at the end of the day, I either met people who understood my broken German and never judged me, or found someone who was kind enough to speak English, speak English. Listen, I searched for the German course on my own, with my broken German. I made appointments on my own with broken German. Where I couldn't, I spoke in English. Potelea mbali, But I tried. I just didn't, guys, I'm really proud of myself. I just didn't sit down and let people do things for me, or I didn't just ask people to do for me everything. No. I stood up and I did things on my own until I couldn't, and then I asked for help. I also didn't want to keep taking job center money. I didn't want to keep taking government money. You guys, you know what I always called job center money? But I'm not judging anyone. Because even me, I was in that situation. I always said that's high class begging. Hi, Naomi. Listen, I always said that's high class begging. But what can we say? What can we say? That's life. The French people say la vie. And listen, even when you're working and at some point you don't work anymore, you still get money from job center, but you still get money from government, but it won't be the same as when you never worked completely. But hear me out. That's one thing that pushed me to do better, to want better for myself, And I never wanted, and still never want, my son to always think it's okay to just not work and take government money over and over and over and over again. You can't take it for a period of time when there's no other option. But then you have to do something to want to better your life. Because when you're taking government money, you are restricted to. There's certain things you can't do. So that's also another thing that pushed me to want better and do better. For myself. So I will say, you have to be willing to move in order to be better for yourself. Another challenge that I faced is dealing with loneliness, being homesick. Although, like I said, I wasn't as lonely as I would have been without my child, but still, I missed my family back home. I missed my friends back home. I missed everything. I was sometimes lonely and homesick, Everything I knew, I had left behind and started afresh. So it was not so easy also building friendships. I'm not the kind of a person to just jump into every situationship. It's not easy for me to build friendships or to start something with someone. I'm not the kind of a person who just goes and starts something new and something new and then something new and then something new. I just like to hold close the people I already have in my circle. Right now, of course, it's not like before. Of course, I have people who we can just meet and just have dinner or lunch and that's it. That's as far as it goes. But before, I was this kind of a person who just is closed with the people she already knows and she doesn't want to go outside of that and start something new. You get what I mean? But anyway, building friendships outside of your country isn't easy. And by the way, guys, I have a video. I'm going to pin it in the description below and in the comment section. Yes, different people from different countries got to give or to speak about their own experience when it comes to building or when it came to building friendships in Germany. Go watch it. It's such an interesting video. And that's why I'm saying it's not easy as a grown-up to build friendships outside of the country. It's such an interesting video. Go watch it, okay? Of course, once you're done with this video. Third point, my darlings, finding an apartment. Guys, it took me 1 good year to get my first apartment, which was 1 bedroom. 1 good year, guys. It's not easy to get an apartment in Germany. It's even harder to get an apartment in Germany when you're not working. In other words, when you're taking government money, where government is the one to pay for you the house or the rent. It's not easy, guys. Yeah, yes, I understand for some people it's easy, but for the majority, it's not easy. Number 1, job center, where you get the money, government money if you're not working. Job center limits the amount they will pay for apartment depending on how many people live in that apartment. So sometimes I could find an apartment, I like it, it's 1 bedroom, but it's more than what job center would pay. And I will just have to let it go and keep looking until I find something that is in the same range as what job center will pay. Now, when it comes to the apartment owners, they will take someone who is working and they can pay their own rent over someone who's taking money from job center. If they just take your papers and they see you're taking money from job center, and there's another person who is working and earns, they will take that person who is working over you taking money from job center. That's another challenge. When you start looking for an apartment, they require some documents for every apartment, even for the ones that job center pays. But there are some apartments, they will ask for your previous 3 pay slips. For example, when I was looking for this apartment, they requested for the other documents, and also they requested for me to give them a pay slip for the last 3 months, which I gave them. The reason why they asked for the last 3 pay slips is to see if you're able to pay for that apartment, you know? And that's where the moment you just say job center, they just put your paper aside. And another thing is compared to my previous apartment, I got this quicker than I got the other one when I was not working. When I was not working, I waited for so long before I got an apartment. And then when I started working, of course it took long, but it didn't take that long. You get? So it's easier for someone who is working to get an apartment compared to someone who is not working. That's just out of experience, and also I've had so many such or similar stories. Anyway, how can you find an apartment? How can it be easy for you to find an apartment? Don't worry. You know, when it came to language, I gave you tips on how to learn the language quicker, things that helped me. It came to building friendships. I told you I have a video of different people from different countries who give their experiences, so you can go and listen to it. And then you might have an idea of what to do and what makes it difficult to find friendships. And now, when it comes to apartments, where can you find apartments? You can find an apartment on online platforms. For example, there's one called Immobilien Scout. I'm going to pin some in the link in the description. Of course, if you're looking for an apartment in Frankfurt, you will love to fill in the name of the city or the name of the place where you want to live. There is eBay Kleinanzeige. There is also Wohnungsamt, which is an organization, should I call it an organization, where you go and give your details and which type of an apartment you're looking for, where and how much you're willing to pay, and then they help you look for apartments. Or you can also ask people around you to help you look for an apartment. Maybe they hear something and then they let you know. You know? Good luck if you're looking for an apartment. The fourth challenge that I still face to date. Weather. Guys, getting used to the weather in Germany, especially winter. Guys, I had never experienced winter in my entire life since I was born. Can you imagine not experiencing that your whole life and then moving to a country where most of the months are cold? Guys, I used to cry. I still wear so much. Listen, I will never ever get used to winter. When it gets to minus, -1, -2, -3, listen, imagine you cut yourself and then you put salt inside or you put lemon. That's how I used to feel in winter. Now it's gotten better, but I will never ever get used to winter. I still wear so much. In winter, my colleagues are always, you know, they say I exaggerate. No, I'm not exaggerating. I wear stocking, I wear plus socks, thick socks, I wear winter shoes. Listen, sometimes I dress my son so much that he says, Mama, it's mir zu warm. Because I don't joke when it comes to winter. Winter is not for me. I only like to see snow when I'm inside the house. I'm taking my hot chocolate and it's cozy. My candles are lit, it's smelling good. That's when I love winter. But when I'm going outside, especially when the snow is melting, no, I don't. My favorite seasons are spring, because I love when the flowers are blooming and it's getting warm and I can start wearing lighter clothes and everything is so bright outside. I love it. I love summer because When summer comes, good weather, good mood. Do you know people get depressed in Germany because of winter? I also like fall because the golden season. Should I call it that way? Because the leaves are turning to this brownish, goldish, yellowish color. Everything is so cold, but at the same time so warm. I don't know how to put it. Everything looks so dull, but at the same time beautiful. Does it make sense? Everything is so dull, but at the same time it has some brightness in it. You know, it makes you warm inside. Everything. The leaves are dying. The flowers are dying. Everything is just falling apart. But yet, somehow, it's beautiful. Does it make sense? And it's not that cold. So all these colors mixed up together, it's beautiful. You know what? It seems like I love all seasons, but I don't like the cold in winter. Isn't that life? In every goodness, there must be something. Not always, but yeah, in most cases. Anyway, let me know in the comment section, what is your favorite season of the year? And will you ever get used to winter if you've not? Because I will not. I don't think I will ever get used to winter. I don't think so. Let me know in the comment section. The last point, food. Yes, I love German food. By the way, my favorite German food is paprika sauce. I even prepared it last time. Tony, yeah. Did you like the paprika sauce?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, that's one of my favorite, where it's bell pepper filled with minced meat with spices and all that, and then there is brown sauce, and then you cook with mashed potatoes. That's one of my favorite. And then I also love schnitzel with pommes, and I also like currywurst once in a while. But you know, guys, I was used to eating a different type of and variety of food, of meals. You know, I was used to eating a lot of vegetables, different types of vegetables. Mchicha, which is my favorite. Mchicha, skuma, spinach. I mean, in Kenya, we have variety of vegetables, variety of fruits. And even if they are fruits here, nothing tastes the same. Even meat, it doesn't taste the same. It's different. I can't take a tomato in Kenya and eat it like this, you know? But here, I can't. It's not the same, you know? Avocado, when you taste the avocado back home and avocado here, it's different. When you taste the chicken back home and here, it's different. When it comes to fruits, mangoes, in Kenya we have different types of mangoes. You know, we have different types of mangoes. We even have different types of sweet potatoes. We have different types of papaya. Do you know there's a papaya which is orange, which is most of the time I buy here? And then there's another one which is pinkish inside. And these are things, for example, that are even at my grandma's place. You know, took them for granted. You know, you take something for granted, you go to another place, you don't find it, and then that's when you know the value. Because I remember the first time, you know, when I was in Kenya, I used to buy variety of fruits, and then every day I will blend different type of smoothie for my son. And then I came to Germany. Shock on me when I went to the market. I buy my fruits and vegetables at an open market. They taste better. Some things I never even had to buy because my grandma always sent them in the city for us. You know, and if I had to buy, it was very cheap. When it came to oranges, I never had to buy because my mom planted so many oranges. So my uncle used to bring for us oranges. So, things like this. And then I moved here and everything was different. Fruits were expensive and not even as tasty. And I don't say that in a negative way. I'm just saying my experience. I'm just sharing with you guys my experience. You guys, my grandma used to send even, or bring for us even chicken in the city. You guys, have you ever eaten chicken until you eat the bone and you feel the sweetness in your mouth? That's it. And imagine when it came to seafood, you could buy seafood fresh. What the fishermen had from the whole night, you can buy today. Can you imagine? Fresh. So most of the things were so organic, so delicious, so juicy, and so cheap. And then I moved here. Shock on me. So that's why it's always important to really, really appreciate every little thing where you are. Because you might think, this thing doesn't have value until you move to a different country and you find that things are totally different. All those fruits that I never appreciated in Kenya, now I buy them here so expensive. Some things I don't even eat them until I go back to Kenya because I can't find them here. So appreciate what you have when you have it. It's really important. And that's the word that I'm going to leave you with today. And I'll see you on the next one. Tell me in the comment section all your experiences. I'll see you on the next one.